Within the dashboard section, there are a number of predefined dashboards available. Executive Summary is a great dashboard for delivering high-level information to a senior decision maker. At the top, you've got all your standard filters, date and time, extension levels and departments, DDIs and campaigns of DDIs, all call types and restrictions. Once you have chosen, you can then apply. It will then give you a summary showing information on how many calls have been handled, how many were incoming and outgoing, how many were missed, how many of those missed have remained unreturned. You can see the busiest hour, busiest person. On the right you have observation showing you total inbound and outbound call durations, longest incoming and outgoing calls, calls to international numbers, and your total duration of calls for the period. You've got dials to show percentages around calls answered and average answer times, a graph to show the peaks and the troughs of hourly call distribution, then top 5 DDIs, top 5 users, and then your top 5 departments. Business productivity dashboards and wallboards include business performance dashboards by user, DDI and department, as well as 2 business wallboards, the standard wallboard and the insight wallboard. The user performance dashboard summarizes individual user statistics with the option to filter by date, time and user. The dashboard displays a summary of total calls for a user broken down by incoming, outgoing, internal, transferred, bounced and missed calls. The call distribution section displays average calls handled per hour alongside a graph showing an hourly breakdown of calls by direction. A summary of call performance is displayed on tiles showing the total and average talk time broken down by incoming and outgoing calls, longest incoming and outgoing call, time of first and last call and overall percentage of time on call. Incoming performance metrics are displayed in the tabular format, listing total incoming calls answered, transferred, bounced and missed by DDI, as well as calls performance statistics for each DDI. The statistics displayed are for each DDI the user has received calls on. Outgoing performance metrics include total calls dialed and connected, average talk time, total calls per hour and time of first and last call. The total calls in target duration and total short and long calls are based on the minimum and maximum duration targets set in configuration. The Department Performance dashboard summarizes departmental performance with the option to filter by date, time and department. The dashboard displays a summary of total calls for a department, broken down by incoming, outgoing, internal, transferred, bounced and missed calls. A summary of callback performance is displayed on tiles, showing total unreturned calls, broken down by total awaiting callback and total without a customer number and total returned calls, including total returned by an agent or staff and total resolved by a customer calling back. The percentage calls returned in target is based on targets specified in configuration. The call distribution section displays average calls handled by the department per hour alongside a graph showing an hourly breakdown of calls by direction. A summary of call performance is displayed on tiles showing total and average talk time, broken down by incoming and outgoing calls, time of first and last calls, and longest incoming and outgoing call. A callback action list displays outstanding return missed calls, the time of the missed call and how many times a call has been missed, and the total time spent waiting to be answered. Contact names will be displayed if a customer directory has been uploaded in configuration. Any customer in the customer directory can be labelled as a VIP also via configuration. A user summary lists total calls answered, missed, bounced, transferred and by direction by user. A summary of DDI performance displays total incoming call metrics by DDI in a tabular format. The total calls returned in target is based on targets specified in configuration. The DDI Performance dashboard summarizes performance by DDI with the option to filter by date, time and DDI. The dashboard displays a summary of total calls offered to the DDI, broken down by total answered and missed. The total calls answered in target, grade of service and percentage calls answered are calculated using answer times targets specified in configuration. A summary of callback performance is displayed on tiles, showing the breakdown of total unreturned calls and total returned calls. The percentage calls returned in target is based on targets specified in configuration. The call distribution section displays average calls to the DDI per hour alongside a graph showing an hourly breakdown of calls answered, transferred and missed. A summary of call performance is displayed on tiles showing total and average talk time, time of first and time of last call to the DDI. A callback action list displays outstanding unreturned missed calls, the time of the missed call, how many times a call has been missed and the total time spent waiting to be answered. An agent performance summary lists total calls offered, answered, transferred and bounced for each user, as well as their average and total talk time and the time of their first and last calls. The standard wallboard has three main sections. The top is a total, the middle rotates between a user summary and a business summary, so you have a high level view of the people and granular information about each one, and at the bottom you have a DDI summary. The Insight Wallboard delivers predefined wallboards in three size formats. You can select from Extension Summary, which displays the total number of calls, both incoming and outgoing, total missed calls and total talk time for each extension in the business. Business Summary displays the total incoming and outgoing calls, total missed calls, average ring time and total talk time for the entire business. Please note that the total calls include internal calls, which are not displayed. So incoming and outgoing do not add up to the total calls on this wallboard. DDI Summary displays the total number of calls, total missed calls, ring time and total talk time for each DDI. The ACD wallboard allows you to select a specific group and view call statistics. You can see how many calls have been offered and answered and whether they have calls in their queue, the average speed of the answer time and whether agents are unavailable or busy.